Hello. We are going to be doing a quick set of notes today over 1.6. First things first, here is your 1.6 quick write. If you could please open up your notebook to your quick write page and answer this. If you all want to have your substitute pause the video for about 60 seconds while you answer this, that would be great. Your quick write today is: what class are you most looking forward to this semester and why? Now that we've had a chance to get to all of our classes and get to know what's ahead for the semester. Okay. And now that you have finished your quick write and unpaused the video, we are going to move on to 1.6 notes. Make sure everybody's got a note sheet. So if you need a pause to get those passed out, please do. And here are your 1.6 notes. Go ahead and throw your name on here. These should get glued in after you are done taking notes, but just in case, throw your name on here. We are looking at equations today that have variables on both sides of the equal sign. So if you notice here, we've got a 3x minus 3 here and a 2x minus 9 here. So far, we've only seen equations that have variables on one side or the other. If you move down here, we've got a 3x, or 4 times 3x plus 5 down here. We've got 4x minus 16 plus 5x. So we've got x's in 1, 2, 3 places on this one. Before we can solve for x, we have to move all of our variables to one side of the equation. So, in addition to that, if there's anything that needs to be distributed or any like terms that need to be combined, we're going to do that first. On this first problem we have here, there is no distributing and no combining like terms that needs to happen. So we are ready to go ahead and move all of our variables to one side of the equation or the other. As you are moving through these problems, you have a choice. You can choose to move your variables to the left or the right. Some people prefer to always move them to the left. Some people prefer to move them wherever it'll keep things positive. We're going to do that one. So we're going to move them wherever things will stay positive, because then we won't have to deal with a negative number at the end. So on this one, we've got 3x minus 3 equals 2x minus 9. We are going to choose to subtract the 2x from both sides. If we subtract 2x from both sides, on the left side of our equation, we are left with 1x. We still have our minus 3. On the right side of our equation, our 2x minus 2x cancels. We are left with negative 9. From there, it is a normal two-step equation. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. I get 1x on the left. On the right side, negative 9 plus 3 is negative 6. And then to finish out, I'm going to divide both sides by 1, which I really don't need to do because 1x is just x. And I get that x equals negative 6, because negative 6 divided by 1 is just negative 6. So again, I really didn't need to do that very last step of dividing by 1, but I went ahead and did it. Okay, moving forward, and it's kind of hard for me to gauge since I'm doing this at home with no students. If you guys need to have the substitute pause the video while notes are going, please do. Just give her a hi sign. Next one we've got here is 6x plus 7 plus 18 equals 10x minus 3. The first thing that we're going to do on this problem is we're going to combine like terms. We've got a 7 and an 18 over here that can get combined. So my 6x stays by itself. My 7 and 18 can combine together to be 25. And then this is equal to 10x minus 3. From here, we have a choice. We can choose to subtract 6x from both sides, or we can choose to subtract 10x from both sides. Like I said, I'm going to always choose to move things so that things stay positive. So I'm going to choose to subtract 6x from both sides. So I'm going to do minus 6x on the left and minus 6x on the right. I've got 25 on the left equals 10x minus 6x, which is 4x. And I still have my minus 3. From here, this is just a normal two-step equation. It looks a little bit different because our x is on the right side, but we solve it the same way, and x is going to end up on the right. So we're going to add 3 to both sides. Add 3 to both sides. I get 28 equals 4x. That minus 3 and plus 3 cancel out. It's just 4x. And at the very end here, I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. And I will get that 7 equals x. If we end up solving for x, and x is on the right side of the equation, at the very end here, we do want you to flip this around, tell us that x equals 7. It's technically not incorrect, but saying 7 equals x is like saying Mrs. Ho is the name of me instead of my name is Mrs. Ho. It just doesn't sound as natural. So flip that around at the very end for us. Okay. Moving over to our next problem. So we just saw when we had a like term we needed to combine. Now we have some distributing that needs to happen. So on this next problem, we're going to start by distributing this -3. So I've got a -3 here. We're going to distribute to that 2x. -3 times 2 is -6x. And then -3 times 4 is -12. I still have that equal to -8x. I still have plus 14. Okay. This one is a little trickier to decide whether we should move things to the right or the left. Because I have both a -6x and a -8x, I can't subtract those from either side. I would actually be adding them to either side. So my choice is to add 6x to both sides, which if I do that, I would be adding 6x here, and that would still leave me a negative. So let's not do that. Or I can add 8x to both sides, and if I do that, I will end up with a positive. So I'm going to choose to add 8x to both sides, canceling this out. On the left side, -6x plus 8x is 2x. I still have -12. I still have equal to 14. So I chose to add 8x to both sides on this one. And then it's just a normal two-step equation from here. So I'm going to add 12 to both sides. I get 2x equals 14 plus 12 is 26. And then to finish it out, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. I'm going to get x equals 26 divided by 2 is 13. Okay. We've got 2 more problems to see. I believe they are ones where we have to both combine like terms and distribute. So in this one, on the left side we have to distribute. So let's do that. 4 times 3x is 12x. Remember, we're multiplying. 4 times 5 is 20. On the right side, we've got like terms that need to be combined. So I can combine this 4x, 4x, and that 5x together. 4 plus 5 is 9. So I get 9x minus 16. Okay, from here, I'm going to get rid of that 9x on both sides because 12 minus 9 is going to be easier for me than 9 minus 12. So I'm going to choose to subtract the 9x. 12x minus 9x is 3x. I still have plus 20. That is equal to, over here I've got -16. Did I make a mistake somewhere? No, I didn't. Okay, I thought I made a mistake. Nope. Next step is to subtract 20 from both sides. And I get 3x on the left, -16 minus 20. That's like if I take $16 from you and I take another $20 from you, I've taken $36 from you. So it's getting more negative. And then to finish this out, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And I get x equals -12. So in this problem, we had to distribute on the left, and we had to combine like terms on the right. Again, pause the video if you need to. It'll be posted on Google Classroom if you miss anything, like always. And the very last problem here, again, we have to distribute and combine like terms, but both of those things are happening on the left side of the equation. So when we have distribution and like terms that need to happen on the same side, we do distribute first. So we'll do the -3 times x, which is -3x. We'll do the -3 times the -7. That negative times a negative becomes positive. So -3 times -7 is positive 21. I still have plus 9 equals 8x plus 8. Just copying that part down. Then I can combine my like terms. So this 21 and this 9 can get combined. 21 plus 9 is 30. So I've got -3x plus 30 equals 8x plus 8. Okay, now that I've got each side simplified out to just that term that has a coefficient and a variable and a constant, so two things on each side, I am ready to move everything to one side of the equation. At this point, I have a choice. I can choose whether I add 3x to both sides and do 8x plus 3x, or I can choose whether I subtract 8x and do negative 3x minus 8x. I like to keep things positive, so I'm going to add 3x to both sides. If you were to do it the other way, you would end up with the same answer, just with different steps to get there. So I'm adding 3x to both sides. I've got 30 on the left equals 8x plus 3x is 11x plus 8. And then from here, it's a normal two-step equation. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. 30 minus 8 is 22 equals 11x. And I can finish by dividing by 11. 22 divided by 11 is 2. So 2 equals x. And like I said, we're going to flip that around for x equals 2 for our final answer. Okay, I will be back Wednesday. I'll see most of you guys in class on Thursday. If you have any questions, let Mr. Olsacker or Miss Ishman or me know when I am back. Thank you very much.